Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Still a little crooked. I really wanted to clean this off before I started. It's a little crooked, but I think it's because of the camera. I don't like when things are crooked. Drives me fucking bananas. It really does. I guess we'll just leave it for now. The other one, good morning. The alert just showed. Yeah, it with the other video, let me go on there and just delete it so people can get off of it. Please look for timestamp when this starts, guys, because I want to clean this off here. So there's something with the energy that I wanted to clean off here. So this is probably a very much projected video. I could be a catalyst for you guys right now explaining this for you. And I know I said I wanted to do this on YouTube, but I mean on, let me just delete that one, on Mystical Moment, but I got pulled to this one. If you go to it really sucks. Sorry, super distracted. I'll look for the timestamp when you want to know when the chat starts. I typically don't like starting things like this with a mess. So definitely a message for you that things could get a little messy, but it's okay. Like, you can clean it up, you know. Clean up. Again, it's like spring cleaning. It's just the season. It's the season of love. Why? What do we have time for? I found the owls you just shared. Thank you. Post short. Oh, you mean you shared my Mystical Moment link in this? That little video that has all the clips? That would be great. I mean, you got time. I'm doing this real quick. Okay. Like, this is just like too much for me. Every time I get off, I add something new onto the fucking table. I do feel something sexual when I said every time I get off. So again, we could just be going back to that one video, which I don't remember which one. I think that's where the anxiety is coming from. So this, yeah. Again, you guys might want to grab a notebook, or just, keep the video. Got my little owls. I guess I don't. My favorite base, literally my favorite base. Made in Turkey. These are my little buddies. These are my little buddies. So cute. You guys are so stinking cute. All right. Me socks. My pen. That is that. That's. Hematite on my right, lapis lupus on my left, Super 7 on my left ring finger, and God, I forget the name of this one. It kind of like is a, it's kind of like a Super 7, but it's not. But it's not. Although I do buy some of my stones from there, so they could always tell me what I have. No, the cleaner's not in here. I'm going to have to use water. Okay. Water. All right, sorry for the mess. And I also, oh my gosh, I just looked down and heard Max. I heard Max. Saw Max, I should say. Hi, Max. You staying warm, buddy? You staying nice and warm? His favorite little winter spot. He loves being under the lamps. Okay, so all right. I attempted to write down some stuff like key points, and then it was just like on and on and on. And I believe the first one that I Googled for you guys, just so I get more information, different types of spiritual catalysts, because I told you that I wanted to do this differently, break them down. So let me put my socks on. Let's just start this at 11. I've not heard that song in a while. What song is that? Was I singing something? You putting the tree up today? Lonnie did that last week. Oh, yeah? All right. Welcome. Gosh, I keep putting my ring on like this, and I don't usually wear it like that. So I think I'm going to leave that. Okay. So we're going to break down catalysts, walk-ins. There's just light workers. They could be known as a walk-in. We're going to just break this down. I might throw some cards. I was going to do this on my other channel, Mystical Moments. I did talk about that with you guys, but I decided to bring it here because this is going to be happening to you. Okay? You are going to encounter a catalyst, or you are going to be a catalyst. I'm almost positive, my spirituals, it's going to be mutual. I keep doing like this with my hands. Okay? So your hands could be significant. They could play a role in this. You could be a healer. They just could be powerful. In regards to, well, maybe it is with, Reiki or something here. But the way I wanted to break this down for you, and it was a lot, so I just kind of want to explain. In the other video of Mystical Moments, which not all of you are subscribed there, so I am going to have to post that 2-minute video saying I'm coming to this channel. And when this video is done, I will also post these particular links for you as well. So at first, to make it real simple for you guys, I Googled different types of spiritual catalysts and then went down the list, right? And then from there, I wrote, is a walk-in a catalyst in spiritual energies, with spiritual energies? So, and then it talks about, and it breaks that down as well, okay? So 2 different things to look into. I have different types of spiritual catalysts, and then on Safari, I brought up walk-ins, okay? So, and light workers. Light workers are also known to be walk-ins. So again, I would post those 2 links below. And I'll probably throw a few cards for you guys, but there is so many different catalysts. Like, you can break down. A lot of people want to just look at. Remember I said I wanted to break down Max? Are you giving her a hard time? Max? I got the water bottle over here. I don't know if you're giving her a hard time or not, but I'm watching you. You could be being watched, but like not in a bad way. Could be getting bumps and cuts, something on your head, something going on with the top of your head, your scalp. That's been happening for a couple weeks with me. And then realizing it has to do with this, or it has to do with genetics, upgrades, downloads. I'm hearing intake, intel. So, when it comes to catalytic energy, and again, we're all going to run into this. Okay. It's like the experience I had a few weeks ago, a month ago, whatever it was. How I told you, it's kind of like even through the telephone. Kiss me through the phone. Seal it with a kiss. Putting up the tree. Did I sing a song that did I sing a song that I don't know what I sang? Is that what you're talking about, Mike? I'm also getting DOM, Dominic. So start with the catalyst. Start with that link first. You'll probably be able to understand that a little bit more because walk-ins are, I'm hearing soul retrievers. Walk-ins usually come in and play a role. They don't typically stay. Some of us do stay, especially if we're light workers. I would consider myself a light worker, but when I look at something as a light worker, I'm seeing like a light, like a glowing light over your head, like a crown, not really an aura, right? So to me personally, I want to look into something a little bit more when it comes into just light workers, because yes, I'm a light worker, but I'm also a dark worker, a shadow worker, however you want to look at it when it comes to, I'm hearing terms and agreements. So a lot of you are going to bump into somebody and you'll be like, wow, I met this person, you never see him again, or I had this strange encounter and this person was telling me something about me, and you get up the next day and you're like, huh, what did that person say? So you're going to, everybody on planet Earth is going to experience this if you haven't already in the last 30, 45 days. I'm hearing 45 days at the most. Unless this energy comes back around in the next few weeks. I'd say before that, it just depends. Others of you, it's definitely going to be before January 2025. So I would say the beginning of December at the latest, because we're meant to absorb this energy and think about certain stuff when it comes to going into 2025. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It's a 9 year, right? So don't get to that 10. So make sure going into this year is important. Going into 2025 is extremely significant. Okay. You do New Year's resolutions, that type of stuff. I think this is way more important than New Year's resolutions. I mean, I know a goal is a goal, but recognizing that it's a 9 year, okay, you have to let that 9 or that 10 go before you get into the 9th year. Else you're going to be working all year on growth and all that. Well, that's normal, but I'm in the sense of you're going to look at it. Some people will look at it in a negative way. Can't get there, this and that. Starting a journey, difficult. Why did this person come into my life? Why did this happen? Why do I feel this way? Yada, 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 right? So you definitely need to clear those energies before 2025 in regards to negativity. This is more about you come into a catalytic situation. It's here for you to recognize, to go within, to understand, why is this energy here? How does it benefit me? So catalytic energy, real quick, okay, it's usually a personal experience. It can be, like I said, in and out, or somebody that's around for a couple years, however you want to look at it, but it's typically is a significant life event, something going down. It could be challenging. It could be waking you up to be a mentor, a spiritual guide. I did get Pearl to Green this morning too. I don't know what it was. A mentor, spiritual guide, personal experience. It typically is challenging, guys. Religious texts, practices, meditation, prayer, acts of service, creative expression, community involvement. You could be one that inspires others, or you're going through some of you I'm hearing attacks, so be careful. Going through a challenge in regards to your spiritual path. Essentially, anything that props personal spiritual growth and transformation, okay? This is a catalytic energy. It could be a person, a place, even an object, okay? Depending on the energy that object is carrying. Now, when it comes to walk-ins, and again, I will post these links below, all right? It is often considered a catalyst for a significant spiritual change when it comes to transformation. Concepts that imply what your soul taking over a new soul of an individual's body, that just doesn't happen, and that takes time. That is not overnight. If anything, you guys have probably already experienced that one. It could be, because I'm getting like a host, it could be somebody bringing out the host. That kind of sounds creepy. That's interesting. Yeah, so individuals' bodies bring a new perspective of energy, which can trigger a period of personal growth and spiritual awakening. Now, this is we're talking about. Keywords here is walk-in. Okay. It could be, it's just that when I talk about new energies and perspective and, look at somebody as energy, it's when a soul is believed to carry different abilities, talents, life experiences, which signifies an individual's outlook in a certain direction. It could be a sudden shift of consciousness. The concept of reporting experiences with a sudden shift or awareness when it comes to values, purposeful life, walking events. It could be a spiritual awakening trigger. Okay, those are no fun. I've done those. The significant change in consciousness and an act as a catalyst for a deeper spiritual exploration or growth. And this is the second time this has happened to me. This time handling it is a little easier. So another reason why I'm coming on this channel. Some of you, you're just experiencing it, and it can go smoothly, and others of you with situations with me, which is a majority of my OGs on the other channel, extremely difficult. So a new age concept could be a concept is primarily associated with new age spirituality, not widely accepted by mainstream religions. Subjective experience, whether or not it's a walk-in, it's truly occurring in a subject experience, as there is no other concrete scientific evidence to support the concept. Walk-in or soul exchange. Okay, that was another one I didn't write down here, but I believe I wrote it in the, which is what I was just talking about with, hold on. The soul exchange is kind of what I was just talking about before I read this and go blank. Transferring souls, okay? Or allowing another energy to kind of come in and guide you. I don't want to say I wouldn't advise it. If you feel it strongly, you could tell your guides that if this is something that I already agreed upon, and this is going to help me, myself, and other people around me, then yes. Okay. A soul swap or exchange, however you want to call it, is not easy. It is extremely difficult, and the transfer is, it could take weeks to months. Okay. And it really depends on who you are, the direction you agreed to go in, or, if you're being forced into something, which would be more of like a spotlight energy, if you ask me. Politics, things like that, something that's, beneficial, going to help humanity, that type of direction. I remember going through one, and they didn't finish. They didn't finish through. It was different. They didn't follow through. It's not that they didn't follow through. It's just something they agreed to stop doing. I do know the souls that they were attempting. It could happen again. I mean, it could have been them just starting and not finishing and kind of leaving it there. Like in the Matrix, you have 2 surgeries. The first one's for that, and the second one is 6 months later, whatever the case may be. Hey, get out of my favorite plant. Get out of there. Oh, I don't have it on spray. I'm not fucking with you. You're gonna get it too, peanut butter. You're not the only one that gets special treatment. Although I don't want him to be afraid of water, but he loves this particular plant, and he's driving me fucking bananas eating it. So they may very well come in and finish the process. I thought, though, from my own personal knowledge or what I was told, it had to be completed all at once. It couldn't just be stopped. That's what I was told. So for some of you, it can continue if you experience something like that, or you thought you did. But if you've ever experienced anything like that, guys, like you're definitely meant to be some type of, I would think, a leader. They're not just going to do that to anybody. They're not going to experiment on you like that. It's not a thing. I would think it's absolutely not a thing. But I also gave permission with certain stuff too. It's like the whole thing when I say, if I become in the spotlight and extremely famous for certain things or this and that, and I continue to be in the spotlight and leave a legacy, right? Another reason to do that. But I've also explained to you, I'm not typically one that would be chosen for that, even though I strongly feel that I am. But a lot of things had to be worked on and adjusted spiritually, genetically, awakenings, catalytic energies, it's stuff like that, because it can consume who you are, and they typically don't let people with children or moms, that type of stuff, get to that point, because then that energy can take over. Like they can step in and take over. Like in the Matrix, I guess maybe you can look at it as bipolar or something like that, but in a spiritual way, it's kind of like that too. You can go from one energy to another really quick, and especially with not anybody really noticing. And being a mom is so important to me, and I always said, just do not take that away in the midst of my journey. If I agreed to do something like this, like I prayed, like, do not take that from me, right? And so that becomes even more complicated, because then it's not even about balance at that point, guys. It's way more complicated. So I don't know how to explain the rest because I was kind of left there, knowing that it will come back around or it's always there. It's just going down in a different way. And I hope I can eventually make the kids part of what this is as well. This is where you have to be careful with walk-ins or who's walking in or what you're allowing your guides to see or deal with, what you're asking them for, what your guides are agreeing to. I totally just got lost in this reading. You can't kind of lose your way. It's a tough adjustment. Okay. So I also feel like they waited for my children to get a little older with certain stuff as well. Because it is too hard it's a lot harder than you think to play mom and home life and what you adore, and then it's like snatchies, right? And they can't play snatchies when you make a deal. And again, it's nice to make a deal, but be very cautious if you go making deals. Okay? You don't want to make a deal with the devil or make a deal with. You got to be careful on how you word your deal if you ever want to make a deal. But I'm not trying to. This isn't let's make a deal. Okay, so it's not a game show. Be very in tune with your guides. Talk to your higher self. Amy, you're sick? Mari, you're sick? Oh, I hope you feel better soon. Mari, you got your own place, right? You situated now, or you still with your friend? I'm getting mosquitoes. Mari, you in the UK? You in your own place? Were you the one where you had a roommate, though? What is the Olympic Peninsula? Olympic Peninsula? Where's that? Western Washington. Okay, I'm thinking about somebody in the UK or that had a roommate. You do have a great roommate. No, this was somebody else in the UK. Anybody remember who I'm talking about? Does this sound familiar to you? I'm getting I don't like that. I'm getting people in hazard suits. Like disease control. There was in Egypt, Paris, and London last week. What was? Like I'm getting people like geared up even outside. You were traveling? London airport evacuated passengers, security incident, bomb scare. Okay, so maybe maybe I'm channeling. No, I don't think I'm channeling that because I got pulled to a mosquito first. Yeah, no, it's not bomb squad. It's like, I'm hearing like international disease control, or because it's pulling me to that whole topic, how the whole, here in infantry, the red book, the red list, what was I reading on that? The whole, like the sanctuary, like if, you want to escape certain countries, you go to the, come on, Court, you go to the, the embassy. I was here but saw on the news they have activated airport. Maybe mosquito made sick. If you're full of stuff, your immune system's not working. It's not the bugs, your immune system. Climate locked Spain. People not allowed to leave before storms. Yeah, I'm seeing, I don't think it's like toxic either. Like I'm not seeing like that type of, well, yeah, toxins, but in the sense of, where's my paper towels? Off my computer. You've already shit twice on that since I've known you, and it's not cool. So there's that. Come play on your thing over here. It's okay. Oh my gosh. He's like, yeah, I'm not going over there either. I'm not talking about like you having this. I'm not talking about you having this, whatever this is in regards to, I did get pulled of mosquitoes, so, but I feel like there's about to be like an international lockdown. Climate lockdown in Spain, people not to leave before the storms. Virus going on in Ohio. Yeah, so this might be around Christmas time too. There were several news reports of accidents involving planes last week that were brought to previous prophecies and videos. Like the videos I was talking about. Like with the plane things going on, or a plane crashing. I mean, planes do crash a lot more often than you think, and they hide some of that shit from us. Charlie, was it you that had the roommate? Or someone had a house? My previous videos? Yeah, sometimes I don't remember them. Sweden and Finland and other got pamphlets on the war. Oh, I wonder if that's like in my book, the one with Sweden and Finland that hasn't come through yet. You hear me talking twice? I don't know. Charlie, was it you that had like a house? I'm remembering like a house. Okay. A house. Like I'm picturing a house and the neighbors were bad, or something with crossed wires, or like I'm in the house, the living room. I don't know if you have the windows, shades closed, awful neighbors, black magic. You were traveling with an Egyptian man. I think he was a fake guru. I'm hearing yes, Mary, a fake guru. So that could have been a walk-in, a catalyst, a host. because I got sidetracked, but I didn't. In all reality, I really didn't get sidetracked because this is what we're talking about. And I was talking about walk-ins and talking to your spirit guides and being a mom and things needing to really go. And I think I remember in one of the videos I was kind of saying to you guys, like, I feel like there's this big group of, again, not really walk-ins, but spirituals. Again, walk-ins, you know, a light work can be a walk-in. That they're like testing, which I feel is like me, us, you know, those who want a family, those who want a relationship, those who want humanity to strive, like those who want to balance their entire life and have it all. Because usually it's one over the other. If you're here to work for, you know, spirit and, you know, higher galactic officials, that type of stuff, and you feel like you are home and you're here to do a job, then you absolutely are. But that comes with sacrifices. It comes with time. You know, it's not everybody is able to have that. So I do feel like we're part of that kind of new group where it's like, okay, let's test them and see how this is going to work out. So there's that. I feel like my throat is hurting now. And I did just get pulled to an airport. So, again, there's so much with catalysts, because we're talking about both, right? But like key categories here: mentors, teachers, individuals who actively guide and support spiritual growth, teaching advice. Example, a role model, people with positive actions, values, people who would inspire personal spiritual development. You guys are going to be dealing with any of these. Community leaders, you know, provide guidance, support others, significant others, you know, close relationships, that spiritual growth through shared experiences, open communication, life-changing events, obstacles, nature experiences, spiritual practices, you know. So we have that. But what is the spiritual meaning of a walk-in? A walk-in or a soul exchange is a new age definition. Okay, soul exchange, I really don't want to get into that. That's what I was kind of talking about. But yeah. So again, a walk-in. An entity, a soul, or a light worker, a new age term, a spiritual advanced soul, whatever it is, who takes over the body of a living human by agreement. Again, that's a lot, guys. I think on our channel, we talked about that off and on for like a year, in the sense of what was happening to a lot of us. And you do have to be careful. Yeah, okay. So from the walk-in, it goes, what does a catalyst mean spiritually? They focus on God's grace. They live to please God, not people. This is more of like they combine their examples or challenges with others. Hey, there's me. No party. No party on this. No party. Look at El Dorado. You party in El Dorado. Got it? Love you. You're still a good boy. I'm not mad at you. So, spiritual significance, concept of a walk-in, a person whose original soul has departed their new body and replaced with a new one. And I could have sworn that was happening to me. Like, I was crying. It was upsetting. Like, it was a whole experience. I didn't know what it was. I couldn't figure out who was trying to kind of like guide me, in a sense. And I also said, I remember, like, it wasn't during a deal, but I remember just talking to spirit in general and being like, if you're going to do this, like, it was very hard. Replaced with a different soul. Like, I think that's why they kind of had to stop whatever I thought they were doing with me, because that becomes dangerous and it takes time. And if they were, and I remember saying to spirit, like, what was it? Like, just do it. Or no, if you're going to do it, you better leave a little bit of my soul. Like, so, like, I'm just starting to remember. So this could be happening to people right now, because I'm literally, as I'm talking to you, starting to kind of remember things that I was saying. And I was like, I want to remember my children. I want to remember, like, I still want, like, to remember. I still want a part of me to, like, remember. But I also remember being like, if this is what you guys need, and I agreed on this, and it's going to help humanity, then absolutely do what you have to do. But I just remember crying, like, don't take away my family, my kids. So yeah, that was quite an experience. It lasted a couple months. And at one point I'm like, just walk in, just don't even tell me, don't even ask me, just do it. But they can't do that. They can't just do that, you know. It's not like, I don't even know how to explain it, but I was like, if you can do it, just fucking do it. Like, it was so much stress. It was so much anxiety. It was, you know, I knew who I was swapping with at certain times. But I believe if they did a soul exchange, I'm not going to remember certain things or dedicate enough time to my children, because I had already made a deal when it came to my children. So things that might get complicated for you guys in the sense of you're not quite sure on what you're experiencing here. But I know we have readers talking about catalyst and walk-ins and, you know, soul exchange and, you know, I'm hearing prophets. It's just time we're all gonna experience this again. But there is differences between walk-ins. You know, they can look at a light worker as being a walk-in. Like, I just walked in and now I'm a light worker. I got to do what I'm going to do. I've been on YouTube for a couple of years. I bounce. I'm out, off to the next location. You know, there's walk-ins like that too. It's usually, a walk-in is usually considered to be a catalyst, and they come and go depending on, you know, what you chose to. I just saw, like, the Middle East. Whoa, what was that all about? But again, you could be a walk-in versus somebody who's reincarnated. You took over, you know, you give birth to somebody, but you were a walk-in, not somebody reincarnated, not a new soul on this earth. Like, there's definitely a reason. Like, a lot of us think, you know, I definitely believe in reincarnation too, and other souls for sure. But you could be born as a walk-in, and you're just that catalyst for life. But again, I would think you definitely have a purpose, whether it's good or evil. So it's basically, it's a beautiful thing too, in regards to like new energies and seeing things differently too, right? Because when that happens and you experience it with somebody, they can even look at it like it pulls them right away. It pulls them away. Just like look at our first supposedly twin flame. It's one or the other. And a lot of it is new age concept that I'm not really, crazy about how they're looking at that. But it is an agreement. An entity, a soul, a light worker, spiritually advanced soul, whatever it is, or who takes over the body of a living human being by agreement. So, say, you had a baby or your mom had you, and you agreed to be this walk-in. Okay. So, I know it's a different soul. Okay, it happens. I just don't think it happens as much as people think it does. Also, if you're a catalyst, it's like let's read from this. It's a minded individual, problem finders, idea seekers, intense curiosity, abilities to challenge others. You could be provoking. That's not always fun. Helping them make something different in their life. It doesn't mean the whole reason why I'm doing this reading, guys, is we have to stop looking at freaking catalysts and walk-ins as lessons. Because as much as it's a lesson, it's about you. Yeah, your individual growth. A lot of people have, it's done through intimacy as well. It's a lot. But it's significantly going to change your life. So, and I know this is going to happen to you because the whole twin thing or catalyst, right? Significantly changed my life and is kind of like, this is why I'm here today, because of that experience. So we're all going to experience something again, and it's for us. It's absolutely part of soul growth. So it's, it changes your life significantly. So I never thought I was going to experience that again. And I did in a different way. And it's so important for me to look at it in a particular way, like not in the sense like, hey, is this person going to come back or this and that, or, swapping energies for activations. So I just feel before 2025, there's a lot of activations being done in different ways. So typically it can be too after like something, I'm being pulled to this as well as a spiritual walk. We would call it maybe like a spiritual journey. But spirit calls it like a labyrinth. It's a patterned path, circular form, We use walking meditation or spiritual practice. The labyrinth's walkway are arranged such as the way as a particular participant moves back and forth across circular forms of series of curves, ending in the labyrinth's heart of the center, which is kind of reminding me of like the whole Labyrinth movie. It's pulling me to like a twin flame, and that's really where we have to get rid of that belief. 5 different catalysts for spiritual growth, life-changing truth, spiritual disciplines, personal ministry, significant relationships, pivotal circumstances, categories, tags. Let me look up something here. Let's look at a catalyst versus a twin flame. A catalyst soulmate will come into your life to enter or engineer a change for the guide for your new way. A twin flame comes into your life to activate their soul connection in your soul contract. Any catalyst role for them is part of that agreement. And that's why a lot of them walk away. But you have all those readers that want to explain, oh, it's in another dimension, or, you know, they might come back, this and that. Like they try to empower you. But it's, to me, it's like, guys, it's like, to me, it's like a moment in time, right? Like the fact that my twin flame scenario, which I fucking hate the word, but I mean, it played out for years and years only because of how it woke me up. And I was so consumed with how I know he felt it. I know he experienced it. I know, you know, stuff like that with I know. But it was like, why? And it, and here, it also says what you don't like. The strongest soul connection, aside from a twin flame, is considered a soulmate connection, which is great. A soulmate connection is intense, profound, and deeply spiritual bonded between two individuals who feel undeniable, almost magnetic pulled towards each other. And some people will say, like, that's bad. That's the part where there's a lesson, but that's not true either. Not in a negative way. It can be in an extremely positive way too, and uplifting, and you guys activate each other throughout the years. I mean, things that you don't even know what's going on, but it's just, it's beautiful. Okay. Because a lot of people get it, karmic relationships, confused, you know, but yeah, the twin flame shit's gotta go. One twin comes in first, then the other. It's very rare that both happen at the same time are twins, but they will come in eventually. 99.9 cases with the DF comes to know first about the twin flame stuff. That's interesting. You'd think it would be the woman. What is spiritual awakening of twins? Where you're forced to reckon with yourself and your own self-love, the strange, really thought to be a strange relationship. You simply have no choice to try to figure out inner peace and a reason to live. And it is a painful situation. So it's kind of like, if it happens again, I don't want anybody to think like, okay, oh my God, I have another twin, or that's like, hell no. You could be experiencing a beautifully deep soulmate connection that's healthy. And it's just, it's taking you to on a completely different path. Well, same path together, but when it comes to like self-worth or, you know, conditioning, things like that. It's like a power couple, but like energetically, the vibe, you can be very different. Or I don't want anybody to think like, oh, the first one was a fake one, and now what I'm experiencing now, oh my God, maybe that's the real one. Okay, like this is where this whole thing's gotta fucking go, because the world is changing, and this is about yourself at the end of the day. Like that experiences is meant for you to really absorb and look at, and what's going on in your life and what needs to be so-called fixed, or what you're pushing away, or what you know you can do but are not doing. I've also learned with that can take time and years, because it's kind of like what's going on with me. And now finally 2 years later, I am able to combine channels. It's stuff like that there's just certain times for certain things to come in. You might also find yourself feeling twin flames are usually triggered something within each other, so it is correct to see them as a catalyst. Heightened energy, tingling sensations, warmth, emotional release. How do you know if a twin is OVO? Lack of communication, emotional detach, absent of mature growth, and feeling an unresolved tension or conflict. That's pretty much what we all feel instantly, but we hold on. And signs of a fake twin. You don't have to see. This is giving me anxiety. Conversations are shallow. They leave your life abruptly. You don't feel right around them. You're unsure about how they feel about you. You feel them slipping away. I almost feel like I can look at this as my last relationship. My last, few years with that person that we talk about. I can look at him as a twin, and I never looked at him as a twin, but this is, but this is also listed like fake twins, but I never looked at him as a twin. But okay, this whole twin thing is pissing me the fuck off. It's the words gotta fucking go. This is how people are getting fucking stuck here. It's killing me. So if you're new and you're on this journey, don't you dare look up anything twin, okay? It's just waste of fucking time. And if you're reading people that are reading on twins, let that shit go too. I'm here to tell you that stuff. Like, that is not what you want to look into. That is not where you want to go. That is not the path you want to take. That is not something that has to happen for you to grow. If you can dodge that, dodge it. You'll save a couple years of that nonsense. You can still experience what you experience with other aspects of your life. It doesn't have to go like that, okay? So, and everybody's connection when it comes to interactions, whether it's, work or somebody who guided you to, a whole new world, well, that would be more perspective. But, a school teacher that you just absolutely loved and you still talk to and you still remember to this day. I mean, these are all connections that we were meant to have. I don't think soul exchange is anything that really needs to be discussed any further. Definitely not TWs. Light workers are also known, again, as walk-ins. So again, the minute that soul is born, another one can get exchanged. That's hard for me to explain. Well, it's not hard. It's basically exactly what I'm saying, but it makes me wonder, right? I'm assuming the mother would have had to be part of that agreement as well, without realizing it. I don't know if that makes, mom and daughter, mom and son a more challenging situation. And it kind of maybe pushes someone to be that black sheep, but I'm seeing a needle, like a needle in a haystack. And that energy, kind of feel like there's something with an energy exchange there too, as if, I don't know, if your mother was, like if your mother gave you her gifts but didn't intend to, but can feel it like as if you had her gifts. I don't think it's like a jealousy thing. I would fucking hope not. That's interesting. This, because I'm really getting pulled to this, and this is also like, it's the only one I didn't check off with the green. Maybe it was meant for me to get more into this. Any relationship's going to be challenging, so I think challenging is probably the key word to all of these. Sometimes I think to myself, the more you know, the better, in regards to knowledge. But if you're not understanding what you're speaking or conveying, don't do it. It's like me when I talk about something where I feel like I have no knowledge, but Spirit's like, but you do have the knowledge. Or, situations like that, I'm uncomfortable speaking on it because I don't know all the facts. And I'm honest about that, and you need to be. Like when people come into my life, it's more of a catalytic energy for them. Even though they could be like a catalyst, the only way they're going to be a catalyst to me is more of activation for me, personal growth. But then for you, you're that catalyst for them to have a major life shift. And I know for a fact, a lot of my OGs on the other channel know exactly what I'm talking about there, because you just, their life, it is what it is, and you can't change it. You can do what you do. You can do what you have to do to explain things a certain way. Like, it's just not going to click, or it's going to click. And then there's other things that, I think like what you're going to experience currently with this catalytic energy. And again, I could just be a catalyst for you guys right now as well. Even though you could be a mentor or mentor, inspire other people, there's also, it's more than just, I just heard soul exchange. What the fuck? It could be something, you typically come in a moment for a good reason or a bad reason. It's always a good reason. But when we look at it as a catalyst, it feels obligating. It feels weary. It feels exhausting. So that's why I feel like we need to look at a catalyst as somebody that is absolutely beautiful and ready to give to like the world or to everybody, one main catalyst. Because when we break down things like this, we're literally taking years of energy from ourselves to try to figure this shit out. And that's not That's not good. No matter how you walk your path, you're going to run into this because it's your path. You chose it. You agreed regardless. And for those who had a catalytic experience with the TW, I don't even want to look at that as a catalyst, guys. Like, that's just something me and him personally agreed upon to do in this lifetime to get me to where I need to be, right? And now it's like having another one. It's propelling me to move forward and have conversations like this with you guys, because it's like intel that I always had but maybe didn't want to share, and now it's like, okay, something else is activated. A majority of us want to just like be thankful for the situation and move on, but I also think that might be not the right approach either, because that's something we did with the original imaginary TF, and it's not imaginary in the sense it didn't happen. I experienced it. I know exactly what I experienced. I wouldn't be here today if I didn't agree to experience that. And I do feel like at some point on my path, even with my Akashic Records destiny and fate, with the turn I took, I think was very unusual, because I probably could have stayed with the ex and went in certain things. Like, I've had people tell me that too, in the sense of like, I don't see why you guys separated, or I don't see, like there was no real reason for it except for like matrix reasons. And maybe my guides or whomever was with me or always with me at the time said, all right, let's just push you in this direction, as if my chart had a choice to make, like, you in your life, what direction you're going to go in. And I must have chose that path. And I don't think that type of energy is in everybody's chart, to be quite honest with you. And again, I would think that would be a difficult start. But everything I have learned up to now in a 7-year period, like, holy shit. And the conversations I have with my kids and my daughters, and how they look at things and how they're perceiving things, and how they, a voice can activate anxiety within them. I'm just like, holy shit. Like, if we don't do something to fix the way they're looking at things right now, we're fucked. We really are. And it's okay for them to have their opinion, right? But yeah, so I think there's going to be a lot of activations within that 1998 to, I think it was 2013. They're all kind of experiencing something right now. How did we just get to that conversation? My chart. So every experience you have, like a TF that you think is a TF or a catalyst, we got to stop putting like a label or a word on it, because that's what fucks up things. And that's like the whole certain generations, like, friendships, relationships, situationships. And I came across, remember I told you I came across that one person that says, like, let's not label a friendship in the sense of, okay, so are we going to be friends? Are we going to be this? Are we going to be that? And I remember that person being like, well, friends is a label, but friends, like, didn't want to even call it like a friend anything, because it's a label. So it's like, what are you? I also feel like that's leaving somebody in confusion too. Like, for me, if anything, like, that kind of triggered something within me in regards to gender, or just what people are thinking. And believe it or not, 9/11, I sent myself something last night on Messenger that I came across in regards to occult word meanings. Well, I came across this pickle recipe too. But this one.
Ship at the end of everything. Friendship. Have you ever wondered why there's a ship at the end of everything? Friendship, relationship, sportsmanship. It's a hidden meaning behind almost every word. You just gotta look. Your body is like 78% water. When you come out of your mother,
This is pulling me to the weekend read I did too, in regards to why I felt like everything was just water and how each card had a placement of each element.
How water flows. So therefore, everything we do in commerce is based on water. And that being the case is based on shipping. The idea is don't rock the boat when you're at work. Don't rock the boat. We're on a tight ship here. We don't want to rock the boat. And so are you with us, mate? Yeah, come aboard on the citizenship. And so now you got the dealership and sportsmanship and citizenship and all of the different kind of words that end in ship. Why do you have banks? Well, where do you find banks? Banks on both sides of a river. They're called river banks. What does a river bank do? It directs the flow of the currency. Money runs through your hands like water. No, money is water. That's why you put it into a bank. It's called currency. Because it's a current. It's an ebb and flow. Comes in and goes out. Comes in and goes out. It's a flow of money. And money is water. Money is a cash flow, a liquid asset. There's a reason why everything works the way it does.
Janelle is giving away 100 special Advent calendars to kick off the holiday season.
So, can't have a soft friend because talk a little aggressively. Can't have soft friends because I talk a little aggressively. That is extremely true with her and me. That's so funny. It's just something I wrote that as us. It's actually so true right there, but soft in certain meanings. Y'all want to see this pickle thing real quick? I'm going to try it when I go to the market.
Promise you, once you try this, you will never buy store-bought dill pickles again. This turned out amazing. So you're going to start with 1 English cucumber. Cut it up to the size of your mason jar. You can also use smaller cucumbers. And then you're going to add 1 1/4 cup water, 3/4 cup white vinegar, 4 fresh sprigs, a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of peppercorn, and then 1 teaspoon of garlic powder. Stir that up, put in the refrigerator for 24 hours, and oh my goodness, you guys, these are incredible. Make sure you comment easy and follow along for more.
So the whole friendship thing, the whole water thing is coming through, but he doesn't really finish the whole concept on that. So I kind of was left like, what the fuck? But not a coincidence that video came my way now that I'm having this conversation with you. So I guess in life we just flow. It's almost like they want us to look at concepts in a whole different way, which is true. It's eliminating certain words and replacing them with something that is more beneficial for mankind. You know, and we kind of know that. We know that anyway. I don't know how on earth that's going to change, but I mean, if we have, you know, this generation out there that does have all these labels and this and that, like when somebody says that you can't label something, it makes me wonder, because it's like the labeling is beneficial, you know, but so I don't really understand that part of it. That's like people saying like you shouldn't judge, and to me that's wrong. You do you do judge. You have to judge. This is your life. You make your own decisions, right? And those are the decisions are your judgment. It's based off your belief, or it's your ultimate judgment. It's your ultimate decision, right? So, and it's everywhere, you know. And it's a religious thing too, in the sense of practices or religious texts. You know, you can judge you, but you have to be able to judge others, because if you're not judging others in regards to you, you're not making the right decisions. And then, but then people are like, I don't want to judge though. But it's like, that's conditioning. And if you're making a judgment call because of somebody else and not what you want, and then you're going to make a lot of mistakes in life. And life is just way too short for that shit. So now with my spirituals, and anybody new watching this channel, welcome. We are going to experience another situation like this. And depending on where it takes you or what direction, it will be another challenge. Because I'm hearing, like, unfortunately, we do have to label things. Because when we're not labeling things, what direction are you fucking going in? To me, it's not the right direction. So I really don't understand that. And clearly I was brought to this video to have this conversation with you guys. Because I think we're going to start experiencing this, whether it's your children saying something or a friend, you know, because it's very easy to your friends even come into your life and be like, oh, Colette, like, he's no good. He ghosted you. Or it's their perspective, right? And it's like, it's their perception. And it makes you question your own perspective. I can put it that way. And it can even be like a best friend. I've had Marsh come in and say stuff like that. And I'm just like, I didn't ask for your opinion. So it's like, the minute you say something about something, you know, somebody's going to judge to protect your feelings in a way. And that's one thing I've noticed with friends. And that's why a lot of times I don't talk about this type of stuff with my friends. And then when I have a conversation, or I haven't spoke to somebody, or, you know, I break down a story, and, you know, and it's like, well, why didn't you tell me any of this and this and that? And why, you know, and it's like I go into hermit mode sometimes, and then like, be like, well, how's life? And, you know, play catch up. And she'll be like, Jesus Christ, Courtney. She'll be like, what the, like, why don't you talk to me more? But it's like, this is stuff for me to figure out. I'm not purposely shutting her out. I just don't feel like I need other people's opinions when I'm trying to figure out what's best for me in my life. Because that's what matters. The decisions I make, how I choose to believe in whatever it is I believe in, my choices, my morals, my own compass, you know. And she's saying they aren't walking a spiritual path. Not necessarily. Marsh does this, and she walks a spiritual path. It's just, I look at things differently from her, and we're still like the best of friends. You know, we just have different opinions, and she knows how I work, and I know how she works when it comes to things. And she still makes her decisions, and I still, you know, make mine. We butt heads over that before. We didn't talk for an entire year because of that. Of, you know, wanting me to choose certain sides, and I don't do that. You know, she's on her own path. Your friends don't have to be on your path to be friends. We all have our own individual path. Just because it's your friend doesn't mean that your friend has to be on your path. Does that make sense? Because that's important too. We're all on our own individual paths. We all have different birth charts, you know. And I try to explain that to people too. Like, we don't have to be on the same path to connect. It's already aligned for it to come into my life. So even in a relationship, you're still on your both individual paths. You're just sharing your life. You're sharing your energy, loyalty, respect, synergy, feelings, emotional feelings, you know, activation. It's somebody you can share life with. And you guys do things together on your path. You guys have a path, but you're still, the two of you still have an individual path always, even if you're in the best relationship with your world. And, is people like, oh, on two different paths. Duh. And I hate to say it like that, but your birth chart is not the same as theirs. You're not saying that's why I don't share my relationship. Yeah. Everyone just has an opinion, whether you love them to death or not, and it's maybe it's their way of, I don't know. It usually has to do with the other person and not you. And I do share a lot of stuff, but I don't go to any of my friends or family for. Now that I think about it, I don't go to anybody for advice. And I think that's been me my whole life, to be honest with you, now that I think about it. Wow, that's interesting, because I'm just realizing that now. I say it and I talk them, walk the walk, but it's actually true. I might be like, hey, I need your advice when it comes to stocks. Someone I know that's like really into stocks and I know nothing, that type of stuff. I need your advice when it comes usually to like business matters, that type of stuff. But even then, sometimes if I do, and automatically, I'm seeing it a different way from how they're like explaining it, that's not the right person to give me advice. Because it's their opinion. It's still their opinion at the end of the day. So if they can't share their opinion without blocking yours, wrong person for advice. Because no matter what you say to a friend or anybody, they're going to be like, oh, man. Or like, oh, don't do that. Or don't, you know what I mean? So again, it's just me. But my soul knows not to ask friends for advice, or when it comes to certain stuff, guys, like especially relationships, I can discuss it here and there, but then if they have a negativity towards it because of like societal viewpoints, I just, I love that friend and it is what it is. I won't be coming back to explain a story or a situation, So I do think my friends do tread lightly with certain topics with me. It's like that whole thing with Marsh in that concert and her really good friend, remember, and how she was talking about all like people's chats and this and that, and right off the rip I was like, oh hell no. Like, but I find it very interesting that Marsh never asked me like, what do you think of her? Or it's almost like she already knew. She didn't need the opinion, you know what I mean? Because we're different type of, she just came into this life and she's like, oh my God, I love astrology and this and that, which is great. But she's very opinionated by Matrix, by the books, by material books. Mine just comes from belief. I didn't even know what the fuck I was doing when I started this channel, besides me saying there's no way on earth I'm the only one that thinks the way I think. That was the only thing for me that was so fucking damn important that put me here. And that's the truth. So it's just, we got to just wipe out a lot of this and really words and the meanings behind them, because this is where people also get stuck on a journey, on a path. And there's no such thing as I need to find my purpose or I need to find myself. It's already embedded in you. You are only slowing down your life with overthinking that. If you're overthinking anything, any type of connection that's beautiful, you're already wasting your energy instead of working with it and exploring it. That's a lesson on its own as well. So you can be with the love of your life, and you guys have your own, you have your path that you guys walk, but at the end of the day, you still have your own path. You know? And I am very, very different and controversial when it comes to certain friend groups too, because I either like you or I fucking don't. But I'm not an asshole about it. You know? But again, coming into like certain people's lives have taught me a lot in the circles and the people I hang around with, you know, who I choose to go to concerts with, who I choose to, you know, cry with, who I, you know, it's just stuff like that. Yeah, we got to stop wasting our energies on certain stuff here, guys. It's just not healthy. And everybody is going to experience a new experience, and that doesn't mean the other person is going to experience it what you experience it, how you experience it. So don't get caught up on that other individual, please, unless you guys are talking about something that you experienced together and you're moving forward and, you know, learning as you go and flowing and that type of stuff. It's like our first twin experience. Who, what, when, why, you know, that, no. It was all about them, right? This new experience with the catalytic energy that's coming in is all about us. Where do I want to be? Now that new things have been activated. Spirit doesn't want you. You don't have time to just play in the matrix. Don't get caught up if you had an activation through intimacy either. Because I have lots of activations through intimacy. But that's me. I see past lives in certain situations too. Like, it was never like that with my husband. And I was about to say first husband. So I basically know I'm probably going to get married again, which has always been something I'm very aware of anyway. And I believe it's on my palmistry as well. But always that inner knowing. I just got pulled to whales. So we're all going to have another catalyst situation. And you really just kind of need to reflect on, well, I don't know if reflect is the right word. It is when it comes to our past and letting things go. But I'm not thinking about that type of activation. This is more of like an activation so you can work with Gaia's new energy. An upgrade. So this is a prime example of, again, all my other channels and certain times me feeling like it's got to be the right time or it's not the right time or I held myself back. Again, prime example. It's almost like an awakening. It happens when it happens, right? It's not when you want it to happen. So let life just flow. It's time to look at things differently. If you have that certain activation and you're trying to figure out what it is, seek it, research it. If it has to do with another person, be brave enough to ask questions, have a conversation. You can't get caught up in self-sorrow or again, I think this boils down to how other people are going to feel about certain things. And, so sad, too bad is the vibe I'm getting. So sad, too bad. You do you, and I'll do me. Which is that song, James Bay. And I'm telling you, what's that song about the taking off the wedding ring or something? A song by James Bay, Taking Off the Wedding Ring. Is it Us? Because this song also activated something within me. But that happens with me in music all the time. Nope, it's not that. And I really don't think it's Let It Go. Where did it just go? Super frustrating that I can't find that song. A song about having an affair, taking off your wedding ring. No, it's not that either. I could have sworn it was James Bay, guys. Ooh, it's not. It's fucking Uncle Kracker. Thank you, Spirit. Uncle Kracker, something about taking off your wedding ring. This came in a reading the other day. It's not Drift Away. Bury the beat, boys, bring my soul. I wanna get lost in your rock and roll and drift away. Anybody know what song I'm talking about now that I know who it is? Oh, is it Follow Me? Yeah, it is Follow Me. I'm going to play this video for you because I think... Wow. Holy wind or whatever that was. This, I don't know if it activated me, but I will tell you, I was married, and I remember I used to play this song over and over when I took a shower, and he never said anything, but I knew, I always saw me having a different family. So this song could trigger something in you guys in the sense of however it triggers you, I kind of feel like this song is a catalyst for some people right now. So if that, intimidates you or make you nervous, hi, then just don't listen. Hi, what's up? Oh, yeah, John's outside, and I don't know what Mom's doing. She could be in the shower. I don't know. Hold on. It's all right. Should I either call you back or call her back? All right, talk to you in a little while. You're welcome. Bye. So I'll play this for you. But it, like I said, the song could be a catalyst for you. It could trigger you. I don't know. So if you're wary, then don't. But I'd say, if anything, like it's almost like inspiring, but it is kind of like a fucked up song. But like not like in a way more of not like fucked up like that, but like a knowing. It's more like that type of vibe. Hey.
Hey.
You going to the dump?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Everything out there?
Yeah. And I cleaned the vacuum out yesterday. If you see like a dusty bag.
I saw it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
You don't know how you met me, you don't know why you can't turn around and say goodbye. All you know is when I'm with you, I make you free and swim through your veins like a fish in the sea. I'm saying, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night, and if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. I'm not worried about to bring you where, 'cause as long as no one knows, then nobody can care. You're feeling guilty, and I'm well aware, but you don't look ashamed, and baby, I'm not scared. I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night, and if you want to leave, I can guarantee.
This is also telling me that somebody's struggling. There's a right person, there's a wrong person. I wasn't even struggling at that point. But it was almost like inspiring, knowing that I was going to find somebody that knew me, felt me, experienced me, like I think that's the vibe I was getting. But this is also telling me like being with somebody you really don't want to be with, but because there's another person. It's not about an affair. Okay. Something like that could have like went down, but this song is for you on a deeper level, in the sense of whatever type of song this is trying to project to you right now. Look at it as like you making the right move. You singing, peanut butter? Yeah?
I'm not the reason that you go astray. You'll be
Now look at, again, this is about like, don't ask me to stay, but like that can be interpreted so many different ways. Don't ask me to stay because I can't handle this. Don't ask me to stay because I am married. But this what I'm getting here, you really got to forget about the affair or the sexual side here. This is more of a message of almost like the right person or the inner knowing or what you've been through, what you've experienced, how you want to proceed, how you want to move forward. There's somebody for everybody that's you're going to start experiencing something more like that. And you could be looking at it as a bad thing, but it's really a blessing. So it's really perspective here, guys. And again, don't look at this as a one and done, because that's not what this is saying. And even if it's an affair, it's not usually one and done. But Spirit's stressing this song is not about an affair right now. Okay, it's about how you feel in a moment. Maybe it's giving you advice, to carry on. I'm not really sure, because when me and my ex-husband at the time, really split, I thought about this song again, and I knew I was going to be okay. And I didn't have any type of affair. So for some people, this song is extremely important. I am going to start it over with the interruption, but this is also telling me because there is interruption. So please look at this song as guidance. And if somebody else, if you're with a karmic and they're asking you to stay when you should break up, you have to be strong enough to go in a different direction.
You don't know how you met me, you don't know why you can't turn around and say goodbye. All you know is when I'm with you, I make you free and swim through your veins like a fish in the sea. I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. And if you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. I'm not worried.
Oh my God, I can't help it. But it's almost like saying, like, it's okay you have a ring on your finger. Sometimes people meet people for fucking certain reasons, okay? And then you got to realize why you're in a catalyst situation. You got to realize why you're not taking what you want. And it's probably because you're worried about other people's judgment. Now, I'm going to do my best not to butt in, but I want you guys to look at things like this because this song is so fucking relevant right now. So please, oh man, I hope you're looking at this in a very beautiful way.
To bring you where, 'cause as long as no one knows, then nobody can care. You're feeling guilty, and I'm well aware, but you don't look ashamed, and baby, I'm not scared. I'm singing, follow me, everything is alright. I'll be the one to tuck you in at night. If you want to leave, I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me.
like choosing the wrong person. Don't choose the wrong person, guys. It's not an accident that you came into somebody's life. Catalyst. For a good reason. I'll be the one that tells you I can guarantee you won't find nobody else like me. So, yeah, and Ace of Wands was there. So, that, you know, things happen. Everything happens for a reason, right? And I can look at that song as sad too, but it's only sad when you stay in wrong situations, you know? That song, and I was a happy part of my life, guys, but like that song always told me as if it was like spirit talking to me or something, in the sense of like, regardless of how your path goes, like you're going to be okay. You know, and ironically enough, you know, I did think about that song with the divorce, and it actually helped me because I knew I was in the right, it was the right time and place to, I mean, it just gave me more courage to move forward and more confidence to be able to do it on my own and to look at something differently. Like people say, like, how did you get over it the way you did? I mourned him. He was dead to me. Not in the sense where I couldn't co-parent and this and that. Like at the time, like I just mourned it. It was gone. That part of my life was gone. Now I had 4 babies and this is my path. And I know for a fact it's going to be difficult, but I also knew my future held exactly what I wanted. So I hope that song helps you. And I think that song has to do with a lot of people going through something right now. And it is that catalytic energy. But we need to start looking at catalytic energy in a beautiful way, and it becomes frustrating, and you go down that whole TW, or you feel like you're going down that again, that road. Like, no, reverse psychology, guys. Like this, it's so important. Like this is a beautiful experience, and if you find yourself struggling, you know, you need to find ways to encourage yourself out of a certain situation, because you have your fucking life waiting for you. It's your experience. If somebody, you know, wants to go along for the ride, that's great. But both of you share a beautiful experience if it ends up going down that way in an intimate way. You know, you can't look at it as you did something wrong. You didn't. Even if it was tempting, like spiritual bait, you didn't do anything wrong. Everything that goes down is meant to go down for your own growth, for your own insight, for your own activations. I look at somebody coming in my life like that as absolutely beautiful. I would love that energy for the rest of my life, no matter how they made me feel, because of my own growth. But hey, get out of my favorite plant. Get out of that plant. It's the only plant I squirt you. I know. Can we figure that out, please? Kisses? I love you. I'm not mad at you. Give me a kiss. Yeah, do my baby. So, sorry, I got sidetracked. You know, listen to that song, and if you're having a hard time, look at that. Look at the whole follow me. Look at it as a guide then. You know, and if you want to share an experience with somebody, be open to it. You know, if a door opens to that, and if the door doesn't open to that, let it be. So it's like Uncle Kracker and James Bay are playing a huge role here, and that means this is telling me that something new is about to go down. Whether you're a catalyst or a catalyst, don't even try not to look at it like that. Just enjoy the experience and let it just happen. If you're Let it be is your new mantra. Yeah. So that's when it comes to like emotions and feelings and hurt, and you have that other energy that's not reciprocating, right? Let that shit go. If I say that all the time, if that energy is not aligned with you and not talking to you, not communicating to you, causing confusion, like let it go. Because your lesson here is so much more. And I don't even want to look at it as a lesson. The growth here is so much more than the emotion that you're experiencing right now. If you guys are experiencing it together, then congratulations, fucking beautiful. But if this is like a solo thing, look at that as a guide. Look at that as a lost one, an ancestor, somebody looking over you. For others of you, it's telling you, you probably think you made a mistake, but you didn't. And you should really follow through with what it is. It's time to explore new things, new realms, new energies. There's people being upgraded whether you like it or not. They're being activated whether you like it or not. So in the midst of these experiences, right, because it's an experience for our own personal growth when it comes to something extremely significant on your path, I'm hearing compromise. Talk it out. So, and again, it might not be with an individual. You can compromise and talk it out yourself too in regards to not why did this happen again. Look at it as more of a beautiful thing of activation, knowing that, this global event is happening with energy, and the more you work with it, the better life you have. And you do need to imagine a whole new world. And for people to be like, oh my God, Court, it's so unrealistic for you to like fly on a magic fucking carpet. No, it's not. There's nothing unrealistic with that. I want to take a magic carpet ride. Why not? Why does it have to be fantasy? I have the right to imagine that. I have a right to imagine what I want in my life. I have one life. I can't worry about how the people are going to feel or think. And, we all experience that regardless. But it's how you look at it is what matters. I think I'm going to leave that read as is. And this next experience for everybody, if you haven't experienced yet, is beautiful. And make sure you thank your guides or whoever you pray to for this situation or talk to, even if you don't pray or you don't, non-religion. I'm pulled to Bob Marley again. But your belief, whether you believe or not, like a different type of belief. Follow me and everything is alright. Got sidetracked when they said something about religion. But not having a religion. So if you don't have a religion, still have a belief. Good morning, Sheldon. Good morning. I've been posting stories on my Facebook, but I thought I was posting them on the mystical one, and I've been pasting them on mine. A lot of people have also been like commenting. So I could just be activating energies right now too. I forget how I was going to wrap this up, so I'm assuming that was probably intentional. It's something with like belief and no belief, but I think somebody's linking it to religion, but it's not about religion. This is, your personal belief, not about religion. This isn't about religion. Some of you, it is about religion because it's there, but that could also be part of a challenge, because this is more of a spiritual activation. So again, I think there's something that's going to come in and inspire you, and it's meant to be the Ace of Wands, which is a beautiful, beautiful energy, and it's one of those things. It's an ace. It's an opportunity to look at something different. It's an opportunity to create something that inspires people, or a vision board that inspires you. I definitely think that song was definitely an activation that could definitely help people as well. So just here and enjoy life, guys. I love you guys. 2. We'll see you soon. Bye.